to Cuyahoga Sound Podcasts, continuing Season 3 with Daniel Rylander.
Season 3?
Wait, did I say 3?
You did.
Oh. Well, let's try that again, shall we?
All right.
Clean that up in post.
That was a very short Season 2. It's a blur, man.
Welcome back to Cuyahoga Sound Podcasts. I'm Evan Stone.
I'm Chuck Schilling.
And today we have talented singer-songwriter Daniel Rylander with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And cheers, fellas.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers.
All right.
Tasty beer.
Cool. Pride of Akron, Ohio.
That's where I'm hailing from these days. So yeah.
Cool, man. How's the music? How's life? How's it going?
Music's good. I've been really busy with gigs. Obviously, I mean, since things have kind of opened up again, especially like the summer just kind of filled up like none other. So and I've been working on a record. So and it's a slow labor of love. But I'm hoping to have that done and out by next year.
Nice.
But yeah, playing out and kind of funding it has been the main focus while the weather stays nice. But no, it's been good.
Good. You do. What kind of gigs do you do?
Well,
like restaurants or?
Yeah, bars, wineries, breweries has been a cool gig that I can have added to what I've been doing. There's a couple good ones in Akron. I actually just played last night at Arche Brewing.
I love that place.
Out there, yeah, in Canal.
I've heard good things about that.
Yeah, it's really good beer, really good food, and it's a cool atmosphere because you're in those like humongous old, rubber warehouses, and and then there's another good brewery like right across the way called Missing Falls. So and I'll be there I think in September, at the beginning of September. So
cool.
But yeah, and I mean. The Jenks.
What about wineries? You said that. What's around there?
Let's see. I just did Lost Trail down in Canton. There's 750 ml wine bar in Akron and Brecksville, so I get to both locations quite a bit. And
nice. That's one thing I really like that I don't indulge in enough is
wine. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
It's I do enjoy it. Are you kind of more of a red guy? In between, sweet.
Depending on the mood, the day. Like it's really like day specific.
Yeah.
Or what you're eating.
True.
With it. If it's outside, it's usually white. Like inside by the fireplace is kind of red.
Mm-hmm.
I do the same with beers, so I'm like IPAs if it's outside and it's light, I'm going light, and then in by the fireplace we're going stouts.
Nice. See, good. I like stouts and porters and stuff. I just don't, kind of like the wine. I have not gotten into it far enough to, because like I just kind of live with IPAs and that's where it's been. But I don't know. And because I enjoy the IPAs so much, I'm kind of a very dry red. Doesn't matter. So, but I don't think I could drink that on a hot summer afternoon.
Does Arche still have the the test batches they put out? It was something like Thursdays. They used to do like test batches of like a beer that wasn't out yet, and you could rate it and tell them what you thought.
I want to say that they still do that. Yeah,
it was really cool.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, it was. My wife and I went to a couple of those. It was really cool.
Yeah,
nice.
That's awesome. I didn't know about that. I should probably check that out.
I hope they are still doing it.
Yeah.
If not, it's 3 out of 3. Like the idea.
Yeah, right.
Go back to it.
All right. Well, that's a good alcohol talk. Let's get to the music.
Yeah, we can talk about beer and wine and all that for hours, but music, I've been happy. I kind of slowed down towards the end of last year, just because, again, during like the winter months, the idea of going out and schlepping gear through the snow and the cold is just like, I didn't want to do it. And I also, I have a 1-year-old as of Friday. He'll turn 1, so I was just kind of like, I want to, spend time at home with family and
that sure changes
kind of
things.
catch up on just learning to be a dad, and so that's been super important, obviously. But it's been good to kind of get back into the swing of things with gigs. I knew I wanted to hit it pretty hard come spring and whatnot. So I've been doing the thing.
Cool.
So.
Girl or boy?
Boy.
Cool. What's his name?
Oliver.
Oliver, nice.
Yep, Oliver Benjamin.
Cool.
So no, it's been crazy to just see how like from being like a newborn. I mean, and again, like a year is 365 days, but I think once you're like a parent, you don't realize like that it goes by so quickly.
Yeah, I get it.
So, yeah.
Find songwriting inspiration there too, I'd imagine.
I've thought about some ideas. I haven't written anything yet. Haven't penned anything to paper. But yeah, there's some ideas swirling around in there.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Cool. Well, let's get to know you a little bit. Cool.
All right.
What got young Daniel into music?
Well, I've always kind of enjoyed music. I was a drummer. I started playing drums when I was 6. So originally,
Did your parents love that?
Drummer. They were very supportive.
That's awesome.
I think I feel like drums, like learning to play like drums and drum set is like probably comparable to somebody like wanting, like I want to play the violin, and just like the screeching and all that.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know, it was pretty loud and pretty bad. And my mom.
Did you have a basement or a garage?
I was actually fortunate enough to put it in my bedroom.
Whoa. All right.
So, but I remember I didn't ever, being 6, 7 years old, and it's like, I don't want to practice. I just want to, bang on the drums all day. And so shout out to my mom who was, very instrumental and just like, this is a paradiddle, you gotta do this. So, but I mean, looking back on it, like it's probably still of the instruments that I play, my favorite instrument to play.
Nice.
And what's been cool since the beginning or the end of last year, beginning of this year, I've started drumming with a band called the Brown Liquor Band. Also out of Akron. Yeah, that's Taylor Carano and Spencer Cutlip is the bassist. So we've been playing gigs, pretty much over the course of the spring to now. So that's been cool. Kind of a fun outlet to get back into like drumming and taking a little of the focus off of like, I don't have to do the booking. I just have to show up and set up and play and go home. So that's been kind of nice.
That's so nice. Yeah.
But and then
is that the same kind of acoustic pop rock?
No,
sound?
It's like a blues funk rock kind of outfit. Right. Yeah, it's
excellent. So it's so much fun to like play different things on different nights like that.
Yeah, it's been good to shake it up. It's helped me kind of experience music that I wouldn't necessarily listen to or write, so I kind of gained more of an appreciation for that style of music and whatnot. I've always been into like blues. I remember growing up, like I would listen to like Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd with my dad and stuff like that. So, but it's been cool to kind of, I've known Taylor for quite a long time, but to be in the outfit with them and
cool. Chuck's brothers are in a blues band.
Okay, yeah. Nice.
Play drums and bass and Among the Willows. They're cool.
Yeah. I feel like I've heard of Among the Willows, maybe.
Yeah. You may have. Yeah. Their names out there.
Singing drummer. That kind of makes it stand out a bit too.
I don't do much singing in that band. I used to. I was so in high school, I was in a pop punk band called Trademark Mistake, and I was the drummer, and I did do singing quite a bit with that band. But I was also doing quite a bit of like lyric writing and whatnot, but I didn't play a melodic instrument. So I was like, okay, I need to teach myself a melodic instrument, or at least try. So both my brother and sister are piano players, so there was always a piano in the house. So that was kind of the first thing. I would just kind of sit down and figure stuff out. And then for whatever reason, I was just like, you know what, bass guitar seems pretty cool. I want to learn bass guitar. And I was at my aunt and uncle's house in Cincinnati, and they had like this old, it was like a classic acoustic guitar, but it was missing like the first, it had the first 4 strings or whatever. So it was like, okay, this is, I'm going to start plunking around it. But then like my dad was like, why don't you just learn guitar? Because he was a guitar player. I was like, all right, fine. So I inherited an old guitar and just started learning that as well. So I've been doing piano and guitar for probably like the last 13 years now. And that really, helped. And as I was like learning, piano and guitar, it kind of, my tastes in music changed. I kind of went away from the pop punk kind of thing and started getting more into like, folk and acoustic singer-songwriter kind of stuff. But still kind of maintained some of the aspects of, pop punk. So like, and people have kind of compared some of my stuff or the sound or style to like City and Color or Never Shout Never, because it's like it kind of had that same, like it still kind of had like a poppy aspect to it, but it was more finger style and different chord progressions and so, and that's to that point. And then I picked up the ukulele about 10 years ago. I went to Hawaii, and I was just like, the proper touristy thing to do would be to go into a music shop and buy a ukulele and start messing around with this because I was there for 2 weeks. So I think pretty early on in the trip, I went into, I want to say it was like Bounty Music Shop or something like that on the island of Maui. And yeah, before I left, I printed out like a bunch of like chord charts, and I was like, I'm just gonna sit on the beach and learn this. And then I got back to Ohio, and it was like still winter time, and still I'm not a big winter person, so the snow is just not attractive to me. And I was like still, thinking and reminiscing about Hawaii, so I wrote a song called Maui Wowie, which I put out back in 2014. So yeah, it's been great.
I heard that one. I thought it was going to be about marijuana. There's a famous strain.
Yeah. Oh, I know that well. But no, and there are some references, but I was, also.
It was pretty vague. I didn't think that's what you really were talking about.
No, I was. It was all the things. So, but no, it's been a great journey, and so kind of back in 2013, I guess. Well, I wasn't necessarily like setting out to play music for like full time. After the band and kind of broke up back in high school, I still was like learning piano and guitar and all this, and now ukulele. But before that, I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna go to school. So I was going to Kent State for music composition because I thought like I want to write scores for movies. And I didn't really like the program. It was probably because 21-year-old me was not applying myself. Actually, I was not even 21. It was probably 19-year-old me.
Well, it was all about classical music, right?
That and like just theory, and it's like, you know what?
Really drill that in. I went to that same school for music.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I was in the guitar program.
Nice.
Yeah. And from like 2009 to 15. When were you there?
I was there. I started in 2010 or 2011.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we probably.
Cool. I knew you from Ken. I didn't know you were in the music program though.
Yeah, I was kind of like, it was remedial because it's like they only had so many slots for drums and percussion, and so they kind of were like, well, just take the Slack program, I guess, and just learn the fundamentals and whatnot, and then like if there's a spot you can audition in and blah blah blah. And by that, like on top of not appreciating the program very much. And then like the added like, oh, well, you have to practice and you have to do this and blah blah. I guess I'm not a big practicing person. This is terrible. I shouldn't say that. I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna take the summer off, or at least like get a job and like think about what do I want to do when I go back. And so I was just like, you know what? I want a good job at the time, and I was dating a girl at the time, and I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go back for nursing. Just complete 180-degree away and from music and whatnot, and. So as life would have it, we broke up, and my older brother was killed in Afghanistan in 2012, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do music because nobody's promised tomorrow is what was kind of nailed into my head from that experience. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to chase this dream down, and why not? So back in 2013, I put out my first record, Strawberry Skyline. And then since then, I've been pretty consistent about either putting out a single or an EP ever since. So it's been almost Strawberry Skyline turns 10 next September.
Yeah, pretty consistent releases.
Yeah, and I'm excited to get this record out next year. But I'm also thinking too, like since Strawberry Skyline is turning 10, I should remaster it, press it to vinyl, and do a reissue. So that's also on the back burner.
Cool. Yeah. How long's the turnaround time for vinyl these days?
Should probably
a year.
Started it last year.
Around a year, yeah. That was our last.
Well, it's 11th birthday then. Yeah. We'll just call it a 10-year anniversary release.
Cool. Yeah, start it tonight. Maybe you'll get it in 2003.
Well, seeing like again, since it was 2013, the producer and studio that I've been working with, he's always constantly like modding out gear, and like the production quality's gotten better. Like I will go back and listen to some of it, and it's like, damn, there's so much compression on those cymbals, and like and you can kind of tell like the audio files have started to degrade and it's crazy.
Do you do your all your instruments?
For the most part, I'll do drums, piano, some guitars, all the vocals, percussion. I let the producer kind of do bass, and like we'll kind of mess around with like nuanced guitar parts, but I kind of like to just sit back and watch him do his thing. It's kind of fun.
I was not aware that like computer audio files degrade.
Well, maybe it's just like the
I mean, like, you might be right.
Because, like, I don't know.
have
Like,
no idea.
I think it's like this works the same way as the TV is now. Everything is gradually getting better and better. And when you look back at something 10 years ago, it looks all grainy.
Yeah, it's horrible.
But it's not. So we've been listening to like better quality and cleaner and this and that. And then 10 years ago, that's weird to think that in 2013 that it even sounds like it's
It gets worse,
lower
man.
quality.
Yeah.
It gets worse.
Who knows?
You turn all gray, and then you're like, what the fuck year is it? Oh, I had a serious what the fuck year is it moment last night. So Paramount Plus, which was like CBS, whatever.
Their streaming service.
Yeah, you had me get that because you were like, hey, they have Beavis and Butthead. So I signed up for it, and then it changed to Paramount Plus. I'm on that now.
Yeah.
And they also have all the old MTV archives, including like Yo MTV Raps. So I was watching Yo MTV Raps from like 1991. Cypress Hill is a guest. New up and coming band, Cypress Hill. And they take the same commercial break spots. So like, you know, like we'll be right back, but it goes to brand new commercials. And I don't know if you're familiar though. There's a new season of Beavis and Butthead that starts tomorrow.
Wow.
So the
I thought
first
they just
commercial,
made the new movie.
they made the movie. They have the series is coming back starting tomorrow. So when this is live, you'll be able to go watch it on Paramount Plus.
That's crazy.
So seriously, the first commercial while I'm watching old MTV is for new episodes of Beavis and Butthead. I'm like, what the fuck year is this?
I never really got into Beavis and Butthead, but then again, I think it might have been just slightly before
I'm old.
my time.
I'm old.
Yeah.
So
They
He's
did
not that old. He's only you're 40.
41.
Right? 41.
Yeah.
They debuted. It was like a Wednesday during the day, and I was home with chicken pox.
Oh, wow.
So like
Okay.
there was nothing to do but watch TV and just lay there. And Beavis and Butthead, they did like a marathon of this new show, and I was hooked.
I was not watching that. I was raised in a kind of religious household, so
Same.
I was barely able to watch The Simpsons.
Oh yeah.
see, I couldn't even watch that. So
Well, I had to sneak it, but I wouldn't get in too much trouble.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it
Those
was.
are worth going back on. The old Simpsons episodes were great.
Yeah, we're on season 5 right now. We rewatch them before bed.
They're excellent, aren't they? Like I had gotten
Yeah.
used to the new Simpsons. I went back and watched like the first couple seasons, and like Homer has depth as a character.
Yeah.
He's not just a buffoon.
It's a lot smarter comedy, like usually, than you're used to.
Yeah, like Beavis and Butthead.
yeah.
Yeah. That's just the one note jokes though. Like they only have their one appeal, I feel. And
I used to like watching.
if I watch like a second episode, I'll start to have brain freeze a little bit. You know, it'll start to hurt.
I love like when they were watching music videos, they would say something stupid that was also extremely clever. Like I can't think of it right now off the top of my head as for an example, but they throw stuff out there. You're like, that's a brilliant point.
Oh, like one of
Set
the
in-
like that hippie teacher would like
Yeah, Van Driesen.
sneak in some knowledge.
Yeah, yeah. There'd be some humor in there that was actually like more highbrow than than you would think of with Beavis and Butthead for sure.
All right, back to the music.
Yeah, I keep going off track, man.
No, it's okay. It's okay. That's what this is about. It's just
Regular conversations
Yeah.
off track.
They do.
All right, Daniel.
yes.
Working on a new album. It's cool. Full length. Or an
It will
EP?
finally be a full length. I've put out 2 EPs to this point, but I was like, it's time. 10 years later to finally have a second full length, kind of a sophomore record to follow up with Strawberry Skyline. So I've started to kind of put out like little pieces, and not like I put out a single Not Just Yet that's gonna be on the record. Sync With Me is on the record, and so I've been working on like a handful of like I can't even keep track of like I'm like I start something and it's like, well, let's go on to this, and like just because it makes sense to save time in the studio, which so I'm thinking I might put out I'm trying to get one more single out before the end of the year. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. And people will have, I think there's 11 songs in the record, so 9 new ones to mess around with. So, and the theme, it's kind of a themed record too. I don't know, I have this obsession with like the ocean and everything nautical. So, and all of the songs pretty much have like an ocean reference or like a sinking, drowning. It's kind of a sad record, but it's gonna be good. I'm very excited about it. So
Nice.
I don't have a title yet. I've got a couple working titles, but
When you do performances, do you have a full band behind you?
not all the time. Most of the time, no. Just to kind of save a little bit of money and whatnot.
Right, for like the restaurant gigs you're
right,
doing
and a lot of the
acoustic,
time they
right?
don't want, a full band, or at least not, as many people as I would bring. But no, I'm excited because I do have a group of guys that I like to work with, and I will have a couple band shows coming up this August, one of which being at the Jenks Building.
Oh
in
yeah,
Cuyahoga
we've
Falls,
heard about that.
and then playing Lock 3 for their live and local Wednesdays. So I'll have a band for that.
Cool. You're gonna be in. Are you close to Cuyahoga Falls?
Yeah, relatively.
Oh, cool. I'll be. If you're not doing anything next Friday, on the 5th. Wait. No, this Friday.
This Friday. Yeah, it is August.
All right.
Yep.
This Friday, I'll be down there playing at
nice.
at the big amphitheater.
Oh, cool.
Cool. With Carlos Jones and the Plus Band.
Okay,
doing,
nice.
Just doing some reggae music. I've never played there, but
It's very
been
cool,
there.
man.
I've been there for when
the
they Rockin' on the River was going on. See some good bands
The Front
there.
Street one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Cool. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I don't think
That's awesome, man. It's a lot of fun to play there.
Cool. They got good concerts going on all summer long, just like they used to do, Rockin' on the River.
Yeah. Well, the Shootouts just played there. Ryan Humbert's band and Indre and Jeff Clem and the Letters and Mark Lee Shannon. So yeah, a lot of good stuff going on.
Cool. A lot of good stuff coming out of Akron.
Akron Falls, Cleveland, everywhere. The scene is so rich. I tell people, I think we have probably one of the best scenes in the entire country.
You've been around and seen some?
Bands here
or
out of the
other
country.
Scenes in the country.
I mean, I've been to Chicago. I've been to New York, and I mean, everybody, like every city, kind of has their like niche of, creatives and whatnot. But I would say just from like the standpoint of like how much, variety there is to the Northeast Ohio music scene. And I guess as you get down into like Central Ohio, I've met some cool groups down there, and haven't spent too much time in Cincinnati, but no, but I'd just say, like, again, from the standpoint of variety, I think Northeast Ohio's
cool. I agree.
Yeah,
pretty awesome.
We're a bit biased, but yeah, 100%.
Well, I feel like if you go out to California, it's going to be more, I don't know, poppy, and I don't want to shoot my mouth off too much because I don't really know, but I just feel like if you go to like Nashville or Texas,
one of the things you
Austin,
don't find here is as much of a competition mindset.
Yeah, I think. Well, and that's something that my cousin's husband was talking to me about. He's not a musician, but we were talking about coming out of COVID and quarantine and whatnot, and how like there's been a very stark difference in work ethic. But I would say something about Midwesterners is that we know how to work our butts off. So, and I think that does translate to whatever you're passionate about.
It's all that snow shoveling, man.
Yeah, right. This past winter, gosh, it was terrible. And the street that we live on is not readily like plowed. Oh. So, I mean, I spent like practically an entire day helping people like just get, and not only trying to shovel my own driveway, but like if somebody got stuck, it's like, we had 2 or 3 other neighbors out there being like, this sucks. But
brings everybody together.
It does.
Yeah, I grew up in a town called Chardon, which is one of the worst snowfalls in Ohio, they say.
Yeah.
And,
the Hilltoppers, man. The giant mound of snow is the hill that you're talking about.
Yeah, gosh. No, if I could get away from snow, I would.
Yeah.
I would transplant somewhere.
Right.
Yeah. Somewhere with a coast.
Yeah,
like Italy.
Chuck's doing that.
Yeah.
Are you going to Italy?
Yeah, moving to Rome in April.
Nice.
So.
Just because?
My wife got a promotion and a transfer, so I'm tagging along.
There you go.
Ride or die.
You'll have to let us know what the music scene out there is like.
Yeah, I'm very curious.
Yeah.
I keep like bookmarking gear on Reverb that I'm interested in that's in Italy. I'm like, yeah, see if that's still there when I get over there.
You'll be jamming with the band in no time.
Yeah, see.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Cool. How's your Italian?
Not good.
Cool. You got time?
Yeah, sure. I've been watching Seinfeld in Italian on Netflix. You can change it to, and then I put the English subtitles on. Like I went with Seinfeld because like I know all the episodes pretty well, so I know what they're talking about. But still adding the English subtitles like gives me the exact words. So I put that on.
That's a pretty good way to learn.
Got a bunch of flashcards too. So. Yeah.
And I feel like Europeans are pretty particular. I mean, maybe it's different like country to country, but like if you don't know the language, they're kind of.
Come at them with a little bit of their language, like you're trying, and they're way cooler.
Okay.
Like if you just come up, I mean, if you thought about it, somebody comes up to you and just starts speaking Italian, be like, "What the fuck?" Dude?
Right.
You know.
Right.
But if like they're trying to speak in English, like, all right, I get what you're looking for. I'll
Yeah.
help you out. So, I try and put myself in their shoes, and that's my take on
a good
it.
way of
If you
looking at it,
attempt something, like I'll just like open it, and with Google Translate.
That's
and
true. Yeah,
everything,
you can just
it's so easy.
pull out your phone.
That app is ridiculous too. Like the last time I went to Italy, I was looking at a menu and I brought it out because it has a camera and it changes everything over, but it also matches the font, which I didn't realize, and it does it so quick. I brought the camera out and I looked. I'm like, why did I bring this out? Like, it's in English, and I moved it. I was like, oh shit, it's not. Like, it matched like the font and the color and everything of the whole menu, and translated it. It's
awesome.
pretty cool.
I was trying to relearn Spanish. I took Spanish in high school for like a couple years. And then I was just like, you know what, why not try to... So I got an app, like, I think it was Babbel. And I was pretty good about it for a few months. But that Translate app really was just like, I would think about, like, what if I wanted to say something in, like, and I would just be like, and I would challenge myself. I would try to, like, type it in Spanish and then see, like, if I was right.
Yeah.
The majority of the time I was wrong. Yeah. It would just because,
Your
like,
donkey is leaking.
Exactly. So.
Cool. Let's talk about some of your musical influences.
Well, gosh, I would say one of the biggest ones for me is a good old rock band out of Canton called Rylander K. It's been my favorite
That was
band.
one of my first concerts.
I just went and saw them at the House of Blues when they were coming through. So, and that was a great show. I've always, I don't know. So like, I also like grew up in a Christian home.
That's why it was one of my first concerts, like IX Center with like.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Do you remember the OC Supertones? Yep. And Switchfoot was a Christian band before they crossed over, and it was like all of them. That was
I didn't know they crossed over.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They had some like mainstream rock hits in like 2004, 3 or 4,
like
or maybe like 2 or 3.
Like the Meant to Live stuff and all that. I didn't know I feel like they're back at it again. I don't know.
Well, I know they were. I know they're on
again.
tour.
Yeah.
With Collective Soul.
Right.
So I think they're back at it. I don't know what they're doing, but
who knows? Who knows? I mean, there's so much. Christian music
Did you
in
listen
general.
to MXPX?
Loved MXPX, but I was always like, are these guys a really Christian band? As they were promoted to be, and I had a friend.
Just positive lyrics, pretty much. I think they mentioned Jesus once or twice.
Yeah. The Before Everything and After was probably my favorite record of theirs, and then Panic was. I was really into punk, but that's because I had a friend that like showed me Anti-Flag and Blink-182 and like all these things that I wasn't supposed to listen to. So like rewinding a little bit, I was like Audio Adrenaline and DC Talk and the Newsboys and I would just
Jars of Clay.
Yep. Actually, so the band that I was in, Trademark Mistake, opened for their acoustic set. Jars of Clay's acoustic set back in.
Oh, that must have been awesome.
It was pretty cool.
Those guys were awesome musicians.
Yeah, no, Crazy Times was probably always one of my favorite records. I think it might have been the title track, but certainly a song.
Yeah, that was one of the first guitar solos I ever learned.
Nice.
On Crazy Times.
Yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, just that, and then like started meeting friends in middle school and high school that were like,
Much Afraid was that record. Yeah.
Much Afraid. That's right.
Sorry, Chuck.
There was more. There were some more obscure ones too. There's like Clay Cross. I think I remember was like, and then Bebo Norman.
Nope.
No. Okay.
Faith Plus One. Is that Cartman's band?
That was Cartman's
band. That's right. Well, Delirious was a big one. That. So but then I started getting into like the rock, like punk rock, and so like there was Blink-182 and there's so many Anti-Flag but I was not supposed to listen to this, so I remember finding Rylander K and be like, they're a Christian band, and so I practically learned to drum every song, every record front to back, and that was kind of where I started picking up like. And Under Oath was a good one for the Christian, heavy scene and whatnot. So, but that was before, and then suddenly, like a light switch, I was like, John Mayer. John Mayer's the best. All those Ben Folds and Ed Sheeran and Jack Johnson. So like I kind of switched. I was like, I just want this singer-songwriter, mellow, kind of bluesy-ish vibe. So, and that's kind of like where I've been. And now I listen to like super obscure stuff. Like if I pulled up my most, on repeat playlist on Spotify, it would predominantly be, artists and musicians and bands that like no one knows.
What, still like singer-songwriters that no one knows?
Well, I mean, maybe, but also like I really like prog rock and like indie, kind of rock, like movements and, gosh, there's some other like obscure. Well, Pianos Become the Teeth, and
that's an awesome name.
Yeah.
Pianos Become the Teeth.
Yeah. Gosh, who else? I mean, I could whip out my phone, but so I mean, I'm kind of all over the place. I was never a big country fan until I met my girlfriend at the time, fiance now, and I'm still not huge on country, but like I can at least appreciate it. Just kind of like I can appreciate, rap and hip hop and R&B and all that good stuff.
What are some quality country artists or singers these days? Because I'm all shut off to that too.
I wouldn't be able to tell you.
I like Chris Stapleton. I like
he's
that
all right.
Dude. Yeah.
I don't know, Luke Bryant, but like everybody knows him. And there's this one song called 7 Summers Ago. I can't off the top of my head remember, but I kind of like that. But that was also, it's kind of like, it's, that pop country like meets very, like almost quasi like blues rock kind of thing. So I don't know.
Like, what's that one? Zach Brown Band?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can appreciate some of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife went and saw them a couple years ago, and they were covering. I think they covered Kashmir, like as an encore. Yeah. It's like, all right, cool.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. I first heard about them. Well, I knew the name, but I first heard them when they did a tune with Chris Cornell, like earlier this, like maybe 10 years ago or so. You ever heard that one?
Maybe. Yeah.
Have you used The Head That Wears the Crown or something like that?
Yeah, I think I have. Yeah.
I can't say that I have, but yeah, that sounds awesome. But no, as far as like influences, like that's kind of, again, like early on growing up, like I mentioned before, I listened to a lot of, Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin and who were some other ones, like the Beatles have always been more classic rock that I appreciate. But I was never, like all the people, or most people, like Aerosmith and the Rolling Stones, and like never really got into the. I was more of a British invasion appreciator of that, style of music than I was the U.S.
Yeah.
So. But.
Yeah, like the Kinks were one of my favorites from all
Kinks
that.
Are cool, man.
The Kinks, yeah. You can't say enough good things about the Who.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool. That could be its own episode. Let's just talk about the British invasion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do it. Let's bring Daniel back with like a few of our other guests and just talk British invasion. One of these podcasts.
I'm down for that. I was just thinking at the beginning here for when you're like, so tell us about your past. And, we need like therapy time with Evan. We're bringing like a nice therapy couch here.
And Elton John too.
Tell me where that song touched you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Elton John, yeah, he's
just
still
in town.
Still playing the tours.
I think
I'm down with.
I want to say that,
man.
like, I don't know, this could be false information, but I want to say like this is his last one.
I think so.
I think he's hanging it up.
He's got
Hasn't he said that before, though?
Don't they all say that? Don't we all say that at certain points in our career?
I think
How
his
many
farewell
lasts?
tour. I think his started before COVID. And so he's continuing. So it's been years, but like not his fault on this one.
So it's not like Ozzy Osbourne where this is really my last tour,
Motley
guys.
Crue, Kiss.
No, I'm doing another tour.
Yeah.
Last tour.
Psych.
Well, and I have friends that went and saw Paul McCartney maybe a month or so back. He's still
Awesome.
grinding it out. So.
I would love to see.
Gosh,
one
no,
of those
and Led
guys
Zeppelin
play,
is actually touring again. They announced a tour.
What?
John Bonham's son.
Oh, okay.
Jason
is playing.
Is going to be drumming, but it's like the other 3 guys are, and I think tickets are running for like $300 a pop.
How have I not heard that?
Yeah, I haven't heard that. That's
really?
awesome. Cool.
Yeah,
you can look it up. Yeah.
I am looking it up right now.
Yeah, and if I'm wrong, then we can just totally cut this show from the podcast.
Oh, we don't cut things. We say during the episode, let's cut that, and then it ends up on the
100%, 100%.
Cut that though.
No, we want to keep
for
this
real.
raw.
Let's see.
Cool. If that's true, I got $300. I can sell something for
sure. I mean,
Led
that's
Zeppelin.
probably going
It's
to book.
Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin Evening. So it's Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin Experience. I
So it's
believe.
just him.
Yeah, it's just him. But they're
Okay.
playing all Zeppelin. I imagine they're probably going to come to the Northfield Roxino.
They've
here.
been there before.
Yeah, they come there a
Jason
lot.
Bonham's.
Yeah, Jason.
All right. Then
yeah.
I am 100% wrong.
Yeah, because they played 2007 in London, and I was trying like hell to get tickets. Actually, one of my coworkers went.
Wow.
Yeah, when he went and saw him, he's the only person I know that knows like more Zeppelin stuff than I do. Like, and then like I get like. I get weird about it.
I wonder what Robert Plant's voice even sounds like these days.
He just did some stuff with
it's
Alison
good.
Krauss.
Did he?
He's been doing that.
Yeah.
He's like known as saying like Led Zeppelin is a small part of my expansive musical career. You know, he values his solo work and his other bands like almost to the same level.
Nice.
And the music is so like unique. It's like a psychedelic folk.
Yeah.
Like you can hear.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You can hear it with Robert Plant's voice, and like just the voice like makes it rock and roll.
Yeah.
But the music isn't rock and roll at all,
I'll have
so
to
you
go
get
check
that
out
like
some of that.
extra twist in this.
They
folk
did some
music.
recording in Nashville at Sound Emporium Studios, and like I went there and recorded a country song. But I remember I got done recording my tracks, and I'm looking at all the pictures, and I stop and I'm looking at a picture, and it's Robert Plant standing where I'm at, looking at the picture that used to be there. I was like, oh, this is
That's
cool
awesome,
as hell,
yeah.
man. What are you Googling there, Evan?
I'm looking up what Robert Plant's band was called. Like
Band of Joy. He was
Band
with.
of Joy. That
Yeah,
was
yeah.
it.
You could have just asked.
Well, you were talking.
Yeah, it's all right.
Since we're kind of talking like Led Zeppelin, what do you guys think of Greta Van Fleet?
I think it's weird that they won't admit that they're like
Pretty
Led
much.
Zeppelin.
Yeah,
That's-
exactly. Okay.
It's like if you're
I didn't know
accept it.
they
That's
didn't,
cool.
They
You know,
don't
like-
admit it.
Yeah, they kind of deny. They're like, oh, never heard of those guys.
Yeah, okay.
I actually
Although that's
I
kinda
haven't
Just had to
heard-
get that out of
I
there.
haven't heard much about them since like lockdown.
I just saw a picture of like their tour setup or something
Well, I
on
think-
Instagram.
And their guitarist, like I think Fender or some guitar shop or music like guitar brand brought them in for like a something.
I heard them play, but I didn't see them play. I was Jacob's Pavilion, you know,
Yeah.
Nautica on the west side of the
Yeah,
flats.
yeah.
I was bartending that night on the east side of the flats. And you can hear, I've heard a lot of good concerts when I was bartending.
That's really
where
cool.
Thirsty Dog was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That was cool. That's like David Byrne, who actually came to the brewery afterwards, but like had like his own spot in the corner.
he needs that for his shoulder pads.
Yeah.
Needs a little extra room.
I think like Jimmy Eat World was and somebody, who were they on tour with? Anyway, like a bunch of cool Incubus, I think. And,
Oh, nice. That'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah, Jacob's Pavilion is an awesome venue. Have you been up there?
Yeah, I've been there for fights too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Were you wrestling there? Or?
Yeah, they had MMA there. They have Fight Night in the Flats, man.
Cool,
A number of those. They were always the big event of the year. Was Fight Night in the Flats in the summer.
cool.
It was a lot of fun.
I wanted to go see Manchester Orchestra when they rolled through.
Oh yeah. That was one of the first ones this year, right?
I think so.
I saw Primus there too, and I met Herb. I was dressed like a penguin. I think I weirded him out.
Cool.
He was hiding behind the bleachers watching the opening act.
I think Primus. That I had tickets to see Primus at that venue in 2020 with Wolfmother opening.
Yeah, they
And
were
that
going
got
to do
canceled.
the
That got canceled.
they were going to do the Rush thing. They ended
That's
up
right,
coming
the
back
Rush
and doing
thing.
it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I missed it though.
yeah, they came back and did it. I missed the actual show. A couple of my buddies went and said it was awesome. I've seen them a lot of times. Primus is
Yeah,
cool as
that's
hell,
your
man.
most seen band. That's what you
Yeah.
told Andy, I think.
Yeah,
that
that's
episode.
probably most seen them, and maybe Ozzy is second, either a solo or with Sabbath.
My first time ever at the Beachland Ballroom was seeing Manchester Orchestra right after they
we
had put
love
out
the
their Simple Math record. So, and that was kind of the beginning of me falling in love with Manchester Orchestra. So, I showed my brother. I got him into Manchester Orchestra as well, and he just went and saw them recently. He lives on the West Coast out in Washington.
Cool.
So, and they went through and they saw them there, and he said it was awesome. So, they came through Cleveland at the House of Blues, but I didn't go. I should have gone. I need to see them again.
That's cool. So I'm unfamiliar with that band. Can you tell me like about
Gosh,
what they're like?
They're They've kind of changed over the course of time, as most.
I've definitely seen the
artists,
the name on like either festival posters or just like on concert lists.
Well,
or
they
like
just
who's
played
coming on tour,
Lollapalooza.
Not sure what they sound like.
Yesterday or something like that. So, but no, they're kind of just like this. They're from like Atlanta, cool. And they're just kind of like they're not like they're really heavy, but they're it's not like heavy rock, but they still employ a lot of they're just like very. I don't even know how to describe it. I should.
Are they a big band like the name Orchestra would?
No. It's like 5 guys, I think. So it used to be a bigger band. They used to have but what's cool is that over the years they've always maintained the same members, with the exception of like I think when I went and saw them at the Beachland, they had a synth player, but the synth player also doubled as like a drummer. So there were 2 drummers like during like the really heavy. It was so
nice.
loud, and they are still so loud. But it's very like just melodic like rock. But what's cool is like Andy Hall, the frontman, he has a bunch of other side projects as well. He was in something with Kevin Devine called Bad Books, which is also kind of a very cool, obscure, but like he's kind of all over the place. It's like he's a really like good singer-songwriter. And then like when he gets with the band and whatnot, I don't know, it's magical. I would definitely check out Manchester Orchestra for sure.
Right.
But yeah.
Cool. What are some of your favorite bands currently that you're listening? You said that there's some obscure stuff about some new bands.
Without my phone, then
I'm always looking for something new to listen to. I feel like everything I like has been ran into the ground.
Well, then yeah, I would say check out Manchester Orchestra. Check out Pianos Become the Teeth. But I like their later stuff. Like before, they were like just this kind of like screamo.
The Pianos Become the Teeth.
Pianos Become the they were just like very like hard and like screaming and like, but like at one point, it was just like it became. He was like singing and like it was just, but it's almost like math rocky, in a way, but not quite. But let me see if I can pull up some. What is on my? I know it's not professional to be on my phone.
That's okay.
We've never done it, but
yeah. Petey is so this guy got started on TikTok, so that's his like big thing. And actually, he opened for Manchester Orchestra for like 4 or 5 shows of this like the tour that they're on. So Petey is one that I've discovered, and that's pretty cool. Noah Kahan, I think, Kahan. He's a good singer-songwriter. Dan Mills, Palace, and I'm kind of like I don't like, and I guess this is how like my listening habits have changed. Is like I don't like fall in love with a record and then just like religiously play it like over and over again. Like I fall in love with like a song, and maybe it's because my attention span is only so big. I don't have, I just don't want to sit down and listen to, except I did with Petey. I did listen to but I was on a long drive, and that's probably where I do majority of my listening. It's like if I have an hour and a half to 2 hours in the car, it's like, okay, I can afford the time to listen to an entire record. Yeah. But if I'm just commuting to X, Y, or Z, it's just like, okay, I like this song. Well, speaking of rap and hip hop, and Kendrick Lamar's new record is amazing.
How long ago did he put something out?
That's playing it. I want to say it was like...
and we're shut down.
Yeah, no, I want to say it was like within the last month that he put that out. So...
I don't listen to a lot of hip-hop, but I've heard Kendrick Lamar that I liked before when someone played.
Fab Five Freddy was talking about a brand new band called Cypress Hill coming out on what I was watching last night.
Oh, what was that, the news?
Yeah. You hear it here first.
Yeah. The Made For You playlists are really... Oh, Novo Amor. Really like him. There's Manchester. Houndsmouth.
Houndmouth?
Houndsmouth.
Oh.
Yeah. Bear's Den.
I know there's a band called Houndmouth. It's Houndsmouth.
Oh, it's Houndmouth. It is Houndmouth.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. I was adding an S because the song title's Sedona. But, Houndmouth.
I saw Houndsmouth was at this festival I went to back in September.
Okay.
And they came up on my daily mix a few times, and that was just one more. We know that band. Let's go out there. They were good live, real good.
Okay, nice.
Good, solid summer indie rock.
Well, and what festival just took place or is taking place? I had a friend. They went and saw oh gosh, Hot Mulligan. And so it's I don't know. Gosh,
Is that the festival name? Or?
No, that was a band that played there. But I wish I could remember the name. But I'm terrible with remembering names and all that good stuff. So yeah, I'm kind of all over the place when it comes to let's see, Colorway and is a band. Melt. Yeah, not the restaurant. But
cool.
The Lonely Biscuits.
The Lonely Biscuits. All right.
Now we're getting hungry.
Yeah. I'm just gonna rattle off names that are just
food getting inspired. Us drooling over here.
Yeah, right.
Cool. Well, we wipe our mouths. Let's thank our sponsors.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to start it off?
You can start it off. I'm
gonna look something up.
Oh, okay. All right.
He's ordering from Melt.
Yeah. We're getting DoorDashed right now.
Let's thank Listen CLE.
Absolutely.
ListenCLE.com. They have a nice database of all Cleveland area musicians. You can, if you're a musician yourself, you can go to their website and it'll self-guide you through the process of getting in their database, and you can use it as your electronic press kit yourself for when you're applying to play shows or with venues. And one of their other great features, my favorite one, is the 9 mood-based playlists that are all Cleveland bands. Yeah, it's real nice to have mood-based instead of genre-based playlists when you're doing whatever, and you're feeling a certain way. Yeah. You hear it from all around. You know?
Or you can use it the opposite. If you're feeling in a shitty mood, you need energy booster.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They have a love, groove, energy, chill, feel good, misery loves company, rock out, night driving, and acoustic cuts on their website, and they'll give you the Spotify playlists from there.
All right. Well, I found what I've been looking for. Thank you for nothing, you two. Cleveland Versus reached out to us, and they are putting together, this is actually coming out right around when this episode's coming out, on August 10th. Cleveland Versus Volume 3 and 4 is a set of, it's 32 artists, local artists, covered AC/DC songs to raise money to fight human trafficking in Cleveland. So we got a great cause here. And where else are you going to hear Apostle Jones cover What Do You Do for Money, honey?
What are some of the other bands on that?
Here, I'll let you take a look. You can read through. There's all the tracks that are coming up on Volumes 3 and 4. All AC/DC
shout out the bands
covers.
that you know.
Yeah, shout out some
Modern Electric.
What are they covering?
It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll.
Yeah. I wonder if they have bagpipes in it.
They might.
Let's see. The Got It, Need It. Livewire.
All right.
Let's see who else. Madeline Finn, Thunderstruck. That'll be good. Right.
I heard that on the way home today, and the guy was like, all right, we're going to do a drinking game with this. You're going to take a drink every time they say thunder. He's like, I promise you're not driving.
Vanity Crash. If you want blood, you got it. Yeah. Let's see who else. Apostle Jones. Yeah. You already said that. I think that's it for the bands that I know, but I'm sure that's going to be phenomenal.
So the sublets are on there. I know that they are covering Highway to Hell. There you go. Take a look at that, Evan.
Oh, yeah.
And also, while we're talking about the sublets, George Chase has started a program called Happy Hour Sessions on YouTube. I watched the first 2 episodes. Really cool.
Mm-hmm. Actually, no, I heard about that through Taylor Lamborn.
Okay.
And then Indre was just on there, I think.
Yeah. I think that was episode 1. I believe. But yeah, very cool show. They sit down together, they start drinking.
And they write a song, right?
Write a song. And the way they decide what song they're going to write is through a deck of cards. I don't think I'm giving too much away because it's just like the way it works. But you draw, the first card is...
So like the Ace of Spades or...
Well, the first card is going to be what decade.
Okay.
So, and then the second one is the year of the decade. So like... like if you get a 6 and a 4, it's 1964.
Okay.
And then you pick out of the whole deck.
To get one from the 20s?
Yeah, maybe. The Roaring 20s, man.
Gregorian chant up in here?
Hope it's not something really racist.
That's a different century.
It is, completely. So
and
that's the Joker card.
Oh, okay.
And then you take then there's like out of the top 50, whatever you draw is the number for that year. So whatever was number 42 on the charts in 1964, you listen to that song, and then that's what you're like influenced by in your writing.
That kind of a song. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, whether it's the lyrics, whether it's the melody or whatever, like you let that.
And you just do it in a session.
Yeah, they do a session. And at the end of it, they play their completed song. It's really cool.
Awesome.
I enjoyed it a lot. Really well produced. You know, like George doesn't do anything half-assed.
That's cool. Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Very cool. Very cool.
Awesome. Well, let's also thank Chuck Kaminsky.
The OG Basement Trader. I actually think I'm sending my nephew over to Basement Trader because he wants to start playing guitar. So he was looking at some like Amazon package that came with an amp and a guitar for like $55.
Oh yeah.
I have a feeling it's not going to be any good. So I'm going to give him a practice amp.
Hot off the assembly line.
Yeah. Yeah, it's still wet when it comes
Oh my gosh, yeah.
There's like notes in there that say, please help us. We're trapped working against our will. And that's just from the drivers from Amazon dropping it off. So, Chuck Kaminsky, he's got a lot of good stuff on there. He just started carrying a new line of instruments. Do you remember what it was called, Evan?
I don't know.
It's you know, they're Fender clones, but he's played them. He says the quality's great for the price, so he started carrying this new line. So it's not just used.
They're building them in Nashville. I know.
Yeah, it's assembled in Nashville, and they're Fender instruments, basically. You know. Like,
Yeah. I played one when I went over there to have my setups done, he's awesome at that. Quick turnaround, great work. And they play just like a normal Strat for like $230.
Yeah, it's crazy
Really?
how cheap they are. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And
It's Chuck, right? Thanks, Chuck.
yeah, there you go. He hooked us up with these microphones when we first got started.
Very
That's
good.
right. Yeah, thank you, Chuck. That's at Basement Trader, spelled BASSMENT, trader.com.
Yep.
Great, cool. Let's also thank Enlightenment Entertainment, Enlightenment Event Lighting.
Yeah.
Event lighting, yeah. You can count on Enlightenment Event Lighting for all your stage lighting needs, whether you're a band looking to add that to your sound and your live show, or if you're putting on an event, you need lights for all your bands, even weddings, fundraisers. Enlightenment Event Lighting.
Yeah.
The whole 9 yards.
All of it, yeah. They follow you with that spotlight in the chair. They got it down.
And last but not least, Jones Drones. CLE.com. Russell Jones, if you're listening, thank you again for coming out and talk to us last season.
I saw a video he put out, and he was there was another drone company that was with him, and I see the guy's drone van like right down the street from me all the time. So like I've always like gone past like ready to throw trash in his yard because I thought he was a rival of Russell here, but
they're working together.
They're in cahoots,
all
man.
Right. Cool. All right. That's dronescle.com.
Jones Drones CLE.
Cool. Drone photography, racing, lessons, repairs. Cool. He does it all.
Yep.
Cool.
He'll give you the answers to your FAA. What is it?
Yeah. I took that FAA test.
Yeah.
It's no joke, man. It was way harder than I think it should be.
Well, now, I mean, do you ever have to like renew that?
Yeah, every 2 years.
Wow.
So I think it's 2 years.
Okay.
Mine's still good right now.
If you want the real answer to these questions, check out episode 18 of the podcast.
Yeah.
When we sat down with Russell Jones.
Of Jones Drones.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
CLE. Because somebody else.
Also, I'd like to mention I started giving guitar lessons again.
Oh, nice.
So if your nephew is looking for
yeah, he's out that way. He's in
man.
Fairport, man. So
cool. Yeah, have him give me a call. Cool. I come to you, or you can come to me. Whatever's clever. Cool. Beginner, intermediate, advanced, acoustic, electric, even ukulele, mandolin, bass guitar. I teach.
You do it all.
I do it all.
That's awesome.
And beginner piano too.
Oh. Yeah. I had a mandolin.
Not intermediate piano. Mandolin's a lot easier to play than you think, especially if you're a guitar player. Think of the guitar. It's double strung. Okay,
yeah.
So think of it, I guess, as a 12 string. Flipped upside down with the highest 2 strings cut off. So you're playing it upside down and only the lower pitched 4 strings.
Is that the same tuning with the ukulele? Are they tuned the same?
No, the ukulele's tunes the same intervals as a guitar. If you take the lower 2 strings off, so the highest 4 strings of the guitar, and if the capo was on the 4th fret, so 2 steps up
It's
or
GCEA.
That's right.
Right. Unless it's a baritone, and then it's the last 4 string. Oh, I'm sorry, it's the D through
E, like a
right,
normal
like a
guitar.
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
Cool. All right. So yeah.
You're gonna be ukulele, mandolin, master.
Mandolin is a bass turned upside down.
Yeah, like I had one, and I just was never playing it, so I gave it to my brother. So now he's probably never playing it over at his house.
No, he's probably not.
He's probably not. He's probably not. He's playing the bass. It's just
which brother? Oh, Eric.
Eric, yeah.
Just slapping the bass, man.
Yep. Speaking of which, I put some flat wounds on my bass the other day.
Yeah, you told me you're doing that.
I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it.
That's how I've had my basses for the last 5 years.
Yeah. It's a fun change.
It's much easier on your fingers.
It is. It's got that, like, I like the mellow tone on a bass.
So I don't play a lot of other people's bass like anymore at all because they're not flat wound. You get too used to that, right? It's almost like worse to play an acoustic guitar than these bass players.
I actually bought something. You can see the little jar sitting on the table over there, just off camera. But you put that on your fingertips. When I was using a round wound, I was using that for a bit. Like I'd be playing for a couple hours. It goes on like almost nail polish on your fingertips. Oh, nice. It was pretty cool. I don't know what the heck it's called, but it's a little tiny bottle and it's available on Amazon.
Cool. All right, when we get a hold of that company and they start sending it to us, we'll tell you all about that.
Absolutely. Until then.
Cool. So that's enough products pushing.
Yeah, especially when we're not getting paid for any of it.
Yeah, like for this Cleveland bourbon whiskey.
That is delicious.
It is, yeah. That's all they get.
This Ryan guys, Cincy made. Truth is.
Yeah, we try to keep it all Ohio.
Yep. Yeah, we got to get the Dreadlock Dave IPA though.
That's
right. I just saw that today on Facebook. I was like, oh shit.
And who makes that?
I don't remember off the top of my head. Evan asked me the same thing.
Masthead.
No, it's something that sounds like the name of a wiener.
Penis Brewery.
I know I've seen it. I know I've seen it too. Oh no! It was Bent Pick.
It's like bent something.
Yeah. I was just
Bent Tree. Oh no, that's coffee.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can
the
find
Crooked Pickle or something like I don't know.
It sounds like some kind of.
No, not quite. I was down in Massillon. I was doing a private gig. Let's see. So 88.9, the Alternation is a local radio station out of Streetsboro, and they're very nice to play my music.
They're awesome for local bands.
Yeah,
right?
no, they do such a good job, and they had a local radio, or not a local. I'm sorry, their annual radiothon.
Yeah.
And they reached out to me and they were like, would you want to play like a private concert for our top donor? And I was like, you know what? Why not? Sure. And I had no idea what I was walking into with that. But no, it was good. So I was down in Massillon because that's the top donor dropped like nearly $900 for the station, which is awesome. And so he happened to live in Massillon, and thankfully it was cool. I'm still here. It was not a weird, kinky serial killer scenario. No, Kurt and his family and his friends were very nice. And but I was like, you know what? There's this spot that I've always wanted to like stop through and play at. And so I told the owner, I was like, hey, look, I'm going to be in the area. I'm just going to stop through. It's the Downtown Hex Tap Room in Massillon, or Sangria Stand. It's a misnomer. I don't know which one is which. Like if you look it up on a map, it's the Sangria Stand. If you look online, it's both. So it's kind of a conglomerate of both. And so I stopped in there, and it was this double IPA from the Crooked whatever, or the
Crooked Pecker Brewing Company.
There it is, Crooked Pecker. I knew it was close.
Wienerish.
Is that the same thing you were thinking about?
So
yes.
Dreadlock Dave, is it double IPA?
It's a double IPA. It's in Chagrin Falls, Ohio, on East Washington Street.
All right.
I think they have live music too. So.
Oh, nice.
All right.
I'm gonna have to. Yeah, the Crooked Pecker.
The Crooked
I would
Pecker.
love-
Cuyahoga Fall. Chagrin Falls.
Chagrin
Falls. Much different place. Not too much different, actually.
Just about 20 minutes, half an hour away from each other.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. All right.
Well, got his cartoon picture on the can and everything.
Yeah.
Man. Cool as hell.
Dreadlock Dave.
That immortalizes you.
Yeah, for sure, man. You're on a beer can. That's cool as hell.
I think I would retire at that point. I was like, well, what's cool is I've heard like of breweries like I even want to say like City and Color did it, or Dallas Green. I don't know. Like they'll just like you'll make your own craft beer together, like, and this will be your line of beer.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
There's a Schilling brewery up in Maine, like, and I thought that was cool, and I have nothing to do with it, you know.
Oh, there's a Stone Brewery in San Diego.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, is there a Rylander brewery?
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
There might be. There's a lot of breweries out there.
Rylander, and if there's not, then I'm gonna have to drop some patents right now and start brewing beer. But that's gonna take me longer than pressing vinyl. So.
Yeah.
Actually, it might take you shorter.
You think so? Oh, yeah. At this point.
Yeah, it's. We heard it takes a while.
Well, I know you guys have another guest, I think, coming.
We got time. We'll
No, that's okay. But I know
time.
they just pressed vinyl, so I'd be
really?
curious.
Oh, okay.
Well, they were just on Fox 8.
Oh.
That's right. Yeah.
So I would be curious to see how long that turnaround took. But then again, there's this band that I played with out of they're out in Asheville, North Carolina, called River Wireless, and I played with them a couple times at the Beachland Tavern. And they just put out a record, and I want to say the record's been out for a while, and they just announced on Instagram that they finally have the vinyl. So you're right, I probably could start my own brewery before I could press vinyl.
Tune in next week to hear which band he's talking about.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, Daniel Rylander. Let's talk about gear for a second. What kind of guitars, amps, stuff you use, recording software for your stuff?
Okay, so my go-to acoustic guitar has always been my Epiphone EJ200. I bought it probably over 10 years ago now. And it, like, within the last maybe 5 or 6, decided it was no longer a tree. So, like, the timbre is really, it's very nice. Again, the producer that I work with, Wes McCraw at Creekside Audio, he says it's probably one of the best recording guitars he's ever, you know, and it's an Epiphone. I mean, it's not like a Gibson or a Martin or a Taylor or whatever. It's just like, it just sounds so good. But I do try to take care of my instruments pretty religiously. But she's my baby. So I've had that for quite some time. I also, I have a few electric guitars. It's funny because it's like I have more electric guitars than I do acoustic guitars, but I predominantly play acoustic. I have my dad's, it's a 335 copy. It's a Ventura, and it's pretty slick. I love playing it because like the humbuckers in it just like have such pure like raw 70s kind of like tone, because that's when he bought it. So I want to fix it up. I want to take the Bigsby off of it because Bigsby's suck in my opinion, especially with like it being an older guitar. It just messes with the intonation so much and like the tuning and whatnot.
You always have to fuck with it.
It's always crazy. So like I want to just like take that thing off, put on a Tune-O-Matic bridge, and like replace whatever tuning heads are on it. I want to put some Grovers on there, but I gotta keep those humbuckers because it just sounds so good. And it sounds like it's a smaller neck too. Like it's, you know, the length is the same, but just like the width of the neck is smaller too, which is kind of cool.
So is it so bad you can't gig with it, or do you play out with it?
I can't gig with it. I used to. There's a couple of videos of me playing it on YouTube here and there because it was the only electric that I had, and I was always taking it to like music shops and be like, just do whatever you have to with this. And then I'd play a couple shows with them and be like, just do what you have to do with this. And so eventually I was like, okay, because I got an Epiphone Les Paul Jr. Which it's nice, but it was free, and I think the guy that bought it for practically nothing because it was just like the shit got beat out of it. It was so sad when I got it.
Yeah. Is it a double cut?
No, well, it was the Les Paul Jr. So it was just there was. Well, I don't know. What do you mean by double cut?
Well, they have the double cut. Has like the horn on each side, almost like a 335 does.
Yeah, like that. It looks like one right there looks like an SG, but it's
rounder. Yeah.
Oh, okay. No. It was no, it was not like the SG.
Okay. It was more traditional Les Paul shape.
Right, but like small. It's kind of like the guitar that lead singer guitarist for Green Day.
Billy Joe. Yeah, he has his own signature one.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and that
Rick Beato's got a double cut version coming out soon. It's supposed to be a signature version in this cool blue. It looks like it's going to be a really cool guitar whenever the hell it comes out. They announced it, but they haven't. Like they announced it like a year ago. But
no, and I loved it, and like that became like because I took it, and it kind of gave me the best. Well, the only problem with it is that it's like a fixed bridge, so like I had to use out, and it was always my G string, but that was always giving me like trouble with tuning and whatnot. So, and again, being more of an acoustic player, as soon as I switched over to like medium strings with a wound G, it kind of that went away. So I played that quite religiously, and I recorded Understanding on that guitar. I recorded Right Now on that guitar, and it was a trooper. But then I was just like, you know what? I've always wanted a Fender. I have a Fender Super Champ X2, which is like a combo tube amp / modeling amp. I'm realizing now that the modeling side really kind of takes away from that, channel. But I've never really had. I have a vast knowledge of pedals, but I just don't have a vast budget for pedals. I have my dream board all picked out, and we can get into a little bit. But I love the Super Champ because of that versatility, being able to switch between channel 1 and channel 2. And like the channel 2 was the, the side that you could tweak. And what was kind of cool is that it came with the Fender Fuse software, which they don't sell anymore. You have to like buy it like on a separate, subscription or whatever. But like you just take a little USB, plug it into the amp, then you can kind of model it as you want. You can change the effects, and you can change, so on the amp, it's just low end and high end. There was no mid, but in the app, as I found out, you can adjust the mid as well. So it's a really extra step. You might as well just show up to your gig with a computer plugged into your amp. But once you kind of save those, your own personal whatever, you kind of have your own personal amp. So so that's what I have as far as an amp. I've got that Fender. I bought a Fender Modern Player Telecaster with 2 P90s. It's a semi-hollow body. I love that thing. Cool. I don't play it enough, which is so sad, and it breaks my heart. But I have it. And I love it. Yeah. So the Fender Modern Player with the 2 P90 pickups and whatnot. And
cool.
Just is so cool.
I had one of those. I used to record one of our EPs in New Moon Rising, the band.
Yeah, I know them.
Oh yeah, that's the band that I was in. I guess.
Right, that's probably how
that's
how we all met.
Think,
right. Yeah.
I think we were supposed to do a show together when, but right before we broke up and like had to get some fill-in or something.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good tone and all that. We did some pop rock songs and like put them on an EP, and that player sounded really good on it. I regret selling that one. I think I even mentioned that in one of our episodes. We were talking about gear we regret selling.
And I've retained everything.
That's cool.
And I don't. Well, and I haven't gotten like to the point where I'm exorbitant. And, like I have like so many guitars that I don't know what to do with because you can only play one at a time.
Yeah.
But and I've always kind of wanted to like maintain a healthy balance of like gear. I would love to buy another acoustic guitar. I really would like to get one of those Epiphone Master built. Because like the EJ200's a super jumbo, and I've been playing that for almost 10 years now. But like it would be just nice to have a Dreadnought, or even one of the like the Martin Minis, just to like be able to travel, But you're gonna drop 1,000 plus on even just a mini Martin.
Epiphone's got good quality stuff. Some of the best for the buck. Like they sometimes get a bad rap. Why? Because they're just Gibson's redheaded stepchild or something.
But they're still using like the same kind of Grover tuners. They're still, putting in the work. And
my amp is an Epiphone. It's like basically a Blues Junior. It's called the Blues Custom.
Yeah.
And, works just fine.
I actually think Taylor Corona plays one of those. Don't quote me, but it was the first Epiphone amp that I saw, and I was just like, I didn't know that was a
thing. I've been using it since beginning of 2015. It's a workhorse, man. It's been good.
And he just runs it through a rat, and it just screams, So, but yeah, I mean, so like that's kind of what I'm working with right now, and I just use the effects in the amp. But and it's gonna happen soon. It has to happen soon because I'm kind of what sucks about the amp is that as soon as you can push the gain on channel 2 all you want, but like there's gonna be some cut in signal when you go from channel 1 to channel because So I got the amp, and it came with it was just like a Fender custom speaker, but I did some because I'm not happy with. I want to mod everything, so I got like a classic Jensen. I think it was maybe a greenback or something that I put in it in exchange for the Fender custom speaker, and then it came with groove tubes. And I was like, that's not good enough, but they are. And I was just like, well, what are some of like the nice like splashy breakup tubes that I could get? So I got some. They're a Russian brand. I want to say like Soltech or Texol.
Sovtech?
Yeah, Sovtech.
Or Tungsol.
Tungsol, that's it. Yeah. And
I don't know how I pulled that out.
Or something like that. As soon as it's funny because people are like, as soon as I say like, yeah, they're like a Russian brand, they're like, oh yeah, we know, but. No, and so like that's been cool, but it's like it's got two, of those like the bigger preamp tubes, and then it's just like this little dinky, for the channel 2, and that's why there's like obviously this cut. And so I was just like, you know what? I just need some pedals and just drive everything through channel 1 where it breaks up just fine. So like my dream pedal board would be. And you can tell me to shut up whenever, but I will talk about this.
No, I've had up to 12 pedals on a board before. You can
go
and crazy.
My thing is like I just want a really minimalistic board, because I don't need to do a lot. It's just like little, folk pop, indie rock kind of stuff that I'm doing. So it's just like, but I've seen, like I know I really want it's Soul Food Overdrive, and I've heard that stacks really well with the OCD. Just to kind of get that extra, power and whatnot. I know I love having like a little tremolo, but you can just get away with like a Boss, tremolo kind of thing. But Wampler makes a really awesome tape delay, like a vintage like tape delay pedal. And what's cool about the amp that I've got is just like it does have like a vintage like spring reverb. So like I could just use reverb through the amp if I wanted to employ that at any time. But I don't know. Being from Akron, it's like I feel like you have to have at least one Earthquaker Devices pedal on your board. So like if I wanted to get like a compressor pedal, like the Warden is one of their top-notch compressor pedals and whatnot. So I'm trying to pull like pictures of like this board that I've like mapped out in my head. But like those are the top ones that
Cool.
I've looked into.
I felt the same way about Earthquaker. My Distortion is one of their discontinued pedals.
Really?
Yeah, called Talons.
Nice.
Cool. All
But
right.
yeah, so that's the gear aspect, I guess.
Like, yeah.
Nice. So you're recording an album right now? Self-produced, or are you with the
No,
studio?
so the studio is Creekside Audio. The owner, operator, producer is Wes McCraw, and I've worked with him for
all your stuff, right?
Everything. I did some work at a studio in Cleveland, and I forget the name. Maybe it was Lava Room, but they had a really bad leak in their ceiling, or one of their studios flooded, so they kind of lost everything.
Wow.
I think since then they've rebuilt and come back. But I was just like, well, I have to have this, single out. So I went back to Wes, and it's like, the prodigal son. I was like, I'm gonna, do this with him, and it turned out awesome. So that's why I was just like, you know what, I just gotta keep coming back to Norton, Ohio.
Cool. So like being in Akron, you mentioned 88.9. You ever do work with 91.3? What's the summit? Is it
91.3? Yeah.
91.3.
Outside of playing at the Rock and Recovery event. That they had at Stan Hewitt like back in June, I want to say. Not really.
Cool.
I've approached them.
Nice.
A couple times.
I used to listen to them all the time, like when New Moon Rising was on there, when they would like play your music, like you listen to them a lot.
No, I mean
same with the alternation.
Yeah, the alternation's pretty cool. I guess 107.3 is now like an alternative kind of. I don't know how much. Alternative Cleveland station. I don't know how much work they do with locals, but
someone mentioned they like have their local band hour or something or radio
like that,
show like Sunday nights maybe.
Okay.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
Remember there was like Cleveland Sound back in like middle last decade or something, or 87.7.
Oh yeah,
Sound.
something
Remember
like that.
something
Yeah.
like that? And they had their local music spotlight, like radio.
Well, then you've got like
remember?
college radio. You've got like John Carroll and Cleveland State.
Right.
And
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, John Carroll has theirs on Monday nights
Right.
at Neo
Jason
Rocks.
and Eric.
Yeah, we're going to be talking to Jason at the end of the month here.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, tell him I say hello.
I will.
It's been a minute, yeah.
All right. What else do we talk about on this program?
Well, we talk. Are we getting towards what we talk about at the end?
Not yet. We can squeeze something else in.
What do you talk about at the end?
I want to actually ask you
religious views and indoctrination.
That's our other podcast.
Political everything. No,
that's on Thursdays.
This room transforms to something way different.
I want to talk about songwriting inspiration and process, and what gets you is that spark, or when do you feel that spark, and how does a song leak out of that?
Well, really good question, because it changed for me. I would fill up notebooks full of just words, poetry, lyrics. And then it was probably around the same time I had written enough songs that I liked, that I think I maybe started putting extra pressure on how I approached songwriting going forward. So whereas I could just be like, okay, this is the verse, chorus, verse, blah, 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 and then just fit music around it or try to make it work, it kind of switched. Now I have to have a progression or a lick or a chord, whatever, and then I can't force the words. The words just I will it'll be literal gibberish until I find what makes sense and based on what I'm feeling. And it's cool that you'd ask that too, because I had to put together a set list for our Lock 3 gig.
When is that at?
It's August 31st. And have it, to the other musicians in advance notice so they can start, learning it and whatnot. But I've been listening to it because I think the first, there's a certain part of the set, there's 1, 2, 3 songs that all kind of flow into each other. So I've just kind of been listening to it, but I wanted to listen to it from start to finish. And there's an old song of mine called Paper Veins that came out on Strawberry Skyline back in 2013. And I never, it's an almost 8-minute long song because there's this big piano intro and whatnot. But I was listening to some of the lyrics and it kind of brought me back. It's crazy how some of my stuff that I wrote a while ago is still relatable to who I am and where I'm at today. And I think that's the power of just being able to be a singer-songwriter and write stuff like that. But, and I just feel at this point I have to have music to work with and then the lyrics will come. And I just don't try to force that process. Sometimes it takes me years to finish songs just because I'm not in the right spot where I, should be to finish this song. And that's kind of my approach to songwriting, and which it's cool, but it also kind of stinks because it's I haven't really written anything new in a few years, because it's I have such a big back catalog of stuff that I can write, play at gigs, record, and I'm also the type of person that there has to be a chronological structure to what I release. I'll make some exceptions here and there if I really dig the song, but no, and that's why I think it has taken me so long to put out this next full length, is because I knew this has to, I had to finish, I had to get off whatever I was working on, and then okay, we're here, and but the crazy thing is about some of these songs are 10 years old, it's old material that I've returned to, revamped, kind of rewritten, reworked through, because it's okay, angsty Daniel, what were you thinking? But they were still good songs, because it's I put in all that work, just writing lyrics constantly. And it was well, you can't you're not this emo boy anymore. It's okay. You're not gonna die. And so you had to rework some of that. But I think this record's gonna be cool because it is kind of just revisiting where I was 10 plus years ago. And I have a lot of people that are well, why don't you put out the stuff that you're writing now? Because again, it's that, no, this is chronological. This has to happen in due process. And that's just the way my brain works. But to answer your question, it's music first, then the lyrics. And it is kind of just based on where I'm at and how I'm feeling. And I feel a lot of the stuff that I have written is based on not feeling, 100% all the time and like happy but like personally like where I'm at right now, like life is good and I am happy. I'm gonna put out a really sad record next year, but like that's how I was feeling, 10 plus years ago.
So we'll hear about Happy Dan in about 10 years.
Right,
Yeah.
that's exactly right. But in 10 years from now, who knows what Happy Dan's gonna look like? So.
But we'll find that out 20 years from now.
Yeah.
And by that time I'll be 40. So yeah.
Cool. 40.
No, I'm sorry, 50. Because I'll be 30, so.
Cool. 50s.
Whatever.
You can still put music out when you're 80, right?
Right.
Paul McCartney?
Yeah.
Elton John.
Absolutely.
But hopefully that answers the question. But
Yeah.
that's kind of my process.
Do you have any questions? I have one more.
You got one more? You can go for it. I'll let you go.
I've been going. What do you want to know about Daniel? Guy,
You put me on the spot, man.
If you got nothing, you got nothing.
I was just flowing along.
All right.
I was just flowing along.
We did talk to Ohio Weather Band a little about this, but Akron bands or even Cleveland bands that you're hip to right now are catching your attention that have impressed you lately.
Well, yeah, the Ohio Weatherman, obviously. But there's always Ray Flanagan, and there's Ben Gage, has a really sweet outfit.
Yeah.
We're also to-be brother-in-laws.
Oh.
So
nice.
yeah,
Cool.
his sister Catherine and I are engaged. So, but no, he's got a really cool thing going on. He works his ass off.
Cool. Does he work? Is that him and his brother? Do they both do
That
music?
used to be the Gage brothers.
Gage.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they kind of split off and went their separate ways. Zach is still doing he started to do his thing again. But Ben's been, plugging along, trucking away doing that. Who else? Well, the Brown Liquor Band, Taylor Carano. I have to plug them.
What instrument you playing in that band? We didn't.
Drums.
Drums.
Yeah, I'm drummer for that. The Conway brothers. They used to live in Kent as well, but they've since.
It's the Kent Bell.
Oh. But no, they're doing cool things. And like what's funny is like we've kind of all Spencer Cutlip, who plays with bass with me and plays bass in the Brown Liquor Band, also plays bass with the Conway brothers. So it's just kind of this, and that's the great thing about the scene is that like everybody kind of knows somebody within it, which I think presents itself as both a blessing and a curse. But it's okay. But let's see who else. Well, there's we've talked about Indre on the show. She's got a good thing going on right now.
Yeah.
There's Shelby Olive. I've worked with Shelby quite a bit, and she's a phenomenal singer-songwriter and musician. Who else am I missing? What did the Ohio Weather Band say?
Oh, you'll have to go listen to season 2, episode 1.
I guess I must.
Out.
Cleveland bands. Let's see.
We do ask everyone that, so
Yeah.
man.
And
Well, see,
everybody
predominantly-
sits there going, "Oh, I know I forgot something."
Oh, there's the Northern Weather Band. They're like a pop punk outfit out of Kent, I think
The Northern Weather Band.
the Northern Weather.
Oh, okay. They from North Akron?
I don't know where they're from. They play at the Eurogyro in Kent all the time. So, but Kevin and I grew up together. Kevin's the drummer, and we met in high school, maybe even before that. But we've been friends for quite some time. But yeah, that's his band, Northern Weather. They just put out a record not that long ago. 88.9 also plays them pretty heavily. I don't know if now we get into like I don't know if Mud Whale is from Cleveland or not, but they're pretty slick. Yeah, I mean, again, like you could just go on for hours about everybody that's done. Taylor Lamborn,
Classic.
also good. Gosh, yeah, Jewel Big Green.
Yeah. That was, we had him in here. It was our longest episode.
Really? No, he's a cool guy.
And he'll be on that happy hour sessions too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah, that's right. There's one more. The Got It, Need It. They'll actually be, and so Ryan, their drummer, used to be in Moon Rocks, if you remember.
Oh, yeah.
Moon Rocks, which was, Dan Thompson.
I know that drummer.
Nick Rosito. Well, now, so Ryan's the drummer for Got It, Need It, but at the time, Ryan was the singer and guitarist for Moon Rocks.
Cool. We, in New Moon Rising, we did like 4 or 5 shows with those guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we used to go out to this private land in Pennsylvania and play a festival every year.
Oh, cool. I think I
Cool
remember
guys.
seeing stuff about that. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that was a blast. That was one of our like takeoff moments, like when we were doing that together. Yeah, those were brothers.
New Moon Rising, Moon Rocks.
Yeah.
Something solar about you.
Cool.
So,
got it. Need it.
Yeah, got it, need it. And they're on that compilation record.
Oh, very cool. The Cleveland Versus.
And they're playing Porch Rocker this year down in Akron.
Awesome. Cool.
And,
what's Porch Rocker?
It's so Highland Square takes a bunch of like public it's not public housing, but it's like people's residences, and it's on their front porches, and they get like 150 or so bands to play across the area of Highland Square. They have like a main stage, and they'll bring in bigger acts.
Mm-hmm.
I think Pop Rocks or like Jerry Serpinetti's band or whatever played last year.
Time Cat.
Well, it was Time Cat, but now that's a totally different band.
Oh, see, I'm way out of the loop, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, that was kind of years ago, but
Yeah, no, Time Cap was.
I remember
slick
playing
in the
that
time.
acoustic with Terry for New Moon Rising, and the band was Winslow. Remember those guys?
It does sound familiar.
Winslow was the guys on the main stage.
Okay.
Akron guys.
So yeah, Porch Rocker is just like this, all these different porches across the intertwining Highland Square, and you play for an hour. I'm playing with the Brown Liquor Band. I'll be drumming with them, and then I literally have to pack up and drive down to Worcester and play another gig.
Oh.
So
those days are always fun.
I tried to stop doing it, but then money was like, "Hey, come play this show." So
yeah,
that'd be cool.
Cool. All right, Daniel Rylander. Thanks for coming in today. It's,
Absolutely, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Glad we finally got together. We were supposed to have do this in November.
Yeah, I wasn't sure exactly like when we had started talking about this, but I'm glad we made it work, and thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, our pleasure, man. Thanks for coming on. We always ask.
Yeah, we'll go to our final question for every guest. It's not a big one. Recommendation for a movie, TV show, or YouTube channel we should be checking out.
Gosh.
Yeah, give us entertainment.
Yeah.
Well, I just started watching The Gray Man on Netflix. It's that new Ryan Gosling movie. If you're into like action, thriller, shoot 'em up kind of thing, that's pretty good. TV show. I don't know. I feel like there is something coming out or like is out that I want to watch, but again, my brain is just so bad at retaining information. I heard that new Jordan Peele movie was pretty good. Nope. Or whatever. Or was it? Yeah, I think it is Nope. But if you like, again, thriller horror kind of thing, I really like, like thriller horror kind of stuff.
Is it like
it's
really?
like,
is it comedy at all?
Well, everybody thinks that because like
horror.
Key and Peele. But no, his Jordan Peele's movie Us was actually really gripping. As well. I mean, it's not like there's probably moments. It's not like slasher horror. It's not like oh my God, pee your pants, scary. But like it's like, and that's not what I'm really into. But like if it's like psychological horror where you're like, oh my God, this could actually happen.
Yeah. Slasher is actually funny to me.
I think so too because
so
it's
unrealistic.
not. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But if it's gosh, like the Exorcist level kind of stuff, it's like, oh God, okay. But even that's laughable if you watch the original.
Yeah.
Gosh, a YouTube channel. I don't know. I don't think I have to do all three of these.
No, you don't have to do all three.
It's supposed to be just one.
Yeah.
But those two,
you just got extra credit.
Well, I could talk to you again about movies and cinema forever. So I could try to top Jewel Big Green on the longest show, but.
Oh, we got other guys coming in.
I know.
Yeah.
Just a few minutes. So.
Evan's going to drag you out.
Yeah. All right, let us know one more time about your upcoming shows and where we can find your music.
So it's the easiest way would just be www.danielrylander.com. Everything has been updated until about September, I want to say. But you can, and all my social media links are linked from there. But I'm on Facebook at Daniel Rylander Music and Instagram at official_Daniel_Rylander.com or not .com. Twitter at Daniel_Rylander and But no, upcoming shows. I'll be at. I'm playing the Northside Blues Festival with the Brown Liquor Band but I'll be drumming. So, but it's still gonna be cool. You got people like Chrissy Strong and who else? Hayden Gilbert and somethings. So playing that. I'll be up in Brecksville at the 750 on the 10th. Taking the weekend of the 13th off because it's my birthday and I'm going to Cedar Point for all of it. But
happy 30th.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. But and I'm playing everywhere. The weekend of the 18th, 19th, 20th, playing Comida and Hudson, the Jenks building with a full band, and Taylor Carano is going to be opening. And then 20th is Porch Rocker and down in Worcester, Grigio. And again, you can find this all at DanielRylander.com. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Okay, cool. Thanks,
Great.
man.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Great to have you in here. We'll talk to you again soon. We'll see you out at one of your shows.
Love that.
Cool.
Yeah. Let me know.
Right.
And you're going to, maybe I'll come catch you on the 5th.
Oh, yeah. Friday.
That'd be sweet.
Come on down, 8 to 10. Yeah. This podcast will not be out yet, but.
No, that's all right.
Yeah.
No.
That's all right.
All right. For Cuyahoga Sound Podcast, I'm Evan Stone.
I'm Chuck Schilling.
Peace.